Welcome to our deep dive into the Revolt of 1857, a rebellion that shook the British Empire and redefined India's struggle for freedom. Today, we'll break down the causes, key figures, the British suppression, and the aftermath of this monumental event. The Revolt of 1857, also known as India's First War of Independence, was rooted in deep socio-political discontent. The British East India Company's exploitative policies had led to widespread economic hardship and social unrest. The introduction of new military regulations, which disrespected religious beliefs, further fueled the anger among Indian soldiers, known as Sepoys.
This video is designed to help UPSC aspirants and history enthusiasts understand the complexity of India's first major uprising against colonial rule.
From Meerut to Jhansi and Delhi to Kanpur, the revolt spread like wildfire, marking a pivotal moment in India's fight for independence.
Let's uncover the facts, explore the failures, and analyze how this rebellion inspired the future freedom movement. The discontent among the Sepoys, or Indian soldiers in the British Army, was one of the foremost triggers for the revolt. The introduction of the Enfield rifle in 1857, greased with cow and pig fat, was deeply offensive to both Hindu and Muslim soldiers, causing widespread resentment.
For Hindus, the cow was sacred and revered, and for Muslims, pigs were considered unclean and impure. This blatant disregard for religious sentiments angered many within the ranks, leading to a sense of betrayal.
But the revolt wasn't just about military grievances. It was also about deeper issues. Decades of economic exploitation, high taxation, and the controversial doctrine of lapse, which allowed the British to annex Indian princely states, also fueled the fire of rebellion.
States like Jhansi, Satara, and Nagpur were annexed under this policy, causing significant unrest, creating widespread dissatisfaction among the Indian nobility and common people alike, who felt their autonomy was being stripped away.
This was an uprising not only of soldiers, but of peasants, artisans, and local rulers, all united in their discontent. Their livelihoods had been devastated by British policies that prioritized the profits of the empire over the welfare of the Indian people, leading to widespread poverty and suffering.
The discontent wasn't just localized, it was widespread and deeply rooted. Across regions, the seeds of rebellion had been planted for years, waiting for the right moment to erupt.
Politically, the British policies of annexation and direct control over Indian states undermined traditional power structures. The doctrine of lapse, which allowed the British to annex states without a male heir, was particularly resented by Indian rulers.
Economically, the influx of British manufactured goods led to the decline of traditional Indian industries, causing widespread unemployment and financial distress. High taxation and revenue policies further burdened the peasantry, leading to land dispossession and increased poverty.
Socially, the British disregard for Indian customs and traditions created a sense of alienation and resentment among the populace. The imposition of Western education and legal systems was seen as an attempt to erode Indian cultural identity.
All these factors combined to create a perfect storm of discontent, leading to the widespread uprising known as the Revolt of 1857. The revolt erupted on May 10, 1857, in Meerut, when 85 Sepoys refused to use the greased cartridges, which were rumored to be laced with cow and pig fat, and were subsequently court-martialed and imprisoned.
Outraged by the harsh punishment of their comrades, the soldiers broke into an armory, freed the imprisoned Sepoys, and set off for Delhi, sparking a rebellion that would soon spread like wildfire across the region. Meerut became the epicenter of the uprising, and within days, the revolt reached Delhi, the heart of the Mughal Empire. The city, with its symbolic significance as the seat of the Mughal Empire, quickly fell into rebel hands, marking a significant victory for the insurgents.
Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, was declared the symbolic head of the rebellion, albeit reluctantly, as he was initially hesitant to support the cause. The insurgents believed his name and legacy would rally the people to their cause, uniting them under a common banner.
But the revolt wasn't confined to one region. It spread rapidly across the subcontinent. Kanpur, Lucknow, and Jhansi soon became key battlegrounds, witnessing fierce and bloody confrontations. In Kanpur, Nana Sahib led the rebels in a fierce battle, culminating in the tragic Kanpur massacre, where many British men, women and children were killed. The siege of Lucknow saw prolonged and intense fighting, with British defenders holding out against relentless attacks by the rebels. In Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai emerged as a formidable leader, valiantly defending her fort against British forces. Rebels marched across northern and central India, defying British authority and seizing control of major cities, challenging the colonial rule.
From peasants to princes, the rebellion drew support from a wide spectrum of Indian society, showcasing a rare unity against a common oppressor. But while the flames of revolt spread quickly, coordination between the rebels was lacking, leading to disorganized efforts and missed opportunities.
The revolt brought forward iconic figures who would go on to inspire future generations. In Delhi, Bahadur Shah Zafar reluctantly became the figurehead. As the last Mughal emperor, he symbolized the end of an era and the hope for a new beginning. Despite his initial hesitation, he provided a unifying symbol for the rebels. In Kanpur, Nana Sahib led the charge, determined to restore Maratha rule. He was a charismatic leader who managed to rally a significant force against the British, orchestrating several key battles.
In Jhansi, the indomitable Rani Lakshmibai became the face of resistance. Known for her bravery and leadership, she personally led her troops into battle, becoming a symbol of defiance and courage. Her refusal to surrender and fierce defense of her kingdom made her one of the most celebrated heroines of the revolt. Her legacy continues to inspire generations of Indians.
Tantia Tope, Nana Sahib's trusted general, proved to be a skilled military strategist. He led key campaigns against the British in central India, employing guerrilla tactics and demonstrating remarkable resilience.
In Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal, a courageous leader, organized a strong resistance against the British forces. She was instrumental in defending the city for months, showcasing her tactical acumen and leadership.
Each leader, despite their regional differences and personal ambitions, shared a common goal to oust British rule from India. Their diverse backgrounds and unique contributions enriched the revolt. But their efforts, while heroic, lacked the unity necessary to sustain a long-term campaign. The lack of a cohesive strategy and internal divisions ultimately weakened their cause.
Many local rulers, such as those in Hyderabad and Mysore, remained loyal to the British, further complicating the rebel cause. Their allegiance to the British provided crucial support to the colonial forces, undermining the efforts of the revolutionaries.
Initially caught off guard, the British regrouped and launched a brutal campaign to suppress the uprising. Their initial confusion gave way to a well-coordinated and ruthless assault on the rebels. Reinforcements arrived from Britain, and loyal Indian princely states provided additional support. The influx of fresh troops and resources bolstered the British efforts.
The siege of Delhi, lasting from June to September 1857, was one of the most significant battles. The intense fighting saw both British and Indian soldiers clashing fiercely in the streets and fortifications of the city. British forces bombarded the city, reclaiming it after weeks of fierce fighting. The relentless bombardment left Delhi in ruins, but the British were determined to regain control.
In Kanpur, British forces retook the city in July 1857 after horrific massacres, retaliating with unspeakable brutality. The retribution was swift and merciless, leaving a trail of devastation. The siege and fall of Kanpur remain some of the darkest episodes of the revolt. The memories of the massacres and the subsequent British retaliation haunted the region for years.
Meanwhile, in Lucknow, the British residency was besieged for months. The defenders held out against overwhelming odds, showcasing remarkable resilience and determination. After intense fighting, the British forces managed to relieve the city, marking another turning point in the suppression efforts. The relief of Lucknow was a significant morale booster for the British.
The British were relentless. Villages suspected of aiding rebels were razed, and rebels, both real and suspected, were executed en masse. The scorched earth policy left many areas desolate. These harsh tactics instilled fear and terror among the population. The widespread fear ensured that resistance was quelled, but at a tremendous human cost.
While these efforts eventually crushed the uprising, they left a deep scar on Indian society, with countless lives lost and cities devastated. The aftermath of the revolt was a period of mourning and rebuilding for many.
The British employed a variety of strategies to quell the revolt. Detailed planning and strategic use of railways and telegraphs allowed for rapid troop movements and communication. Superior weaponry, including advanced rifles and artillery, gave the British a significant advantage. They used these to devastating effect in battles across the region. Night raids and surprise attacks on rebel camps were common tactics. These operations aimed to catch the rebels off guard and dismantle their organizational structure. Intelligence gathering played a crucial role. The British used spies and informants to infiltrate rebel groups, gaining valuable information that was used to plan further assaults. Fortifying key positions and constructing defensive structures helped the British maintain control over recaptured territories. These strongholds served as bases for further operations.
Martial law was enforced in many areas, with public executions serving as a grim warning to those who might consider rebellion. The presence of British patrols ensured constant surveillance. Propaganda was also used to sway public opinion. British officers addressed local leaders and communities, attempting to win their loyalty and cooperation through promises and threats.
In the aftermath, the British focused on rebuilding infrastructure and restoring order. This was part of their strategy to stabilize the region and prevent future uprisings. Providing aid and negotiating with local leaders were crucial in re-establishing British authority. These efforts aimed to create a sense of normalcy and cooperation among the populace.
Despite the initial successes, the revolt ultimately failed. One of the major reasons was the lack of central leadership. Bahadur Shah Zafar, though a symbolic leader, had little real control over the disparate rebel forces.
The lack of coordination among the rebel factions meant they could not present a united front. Each leader fought for their region, and in many cases, their strategies conflicted. This internal discord further weakened their ability to mount a cohesive resistance.
Additionally, many of India's princely states, such as Hyderabad and Mysore, remained loyal to the British, providing crucial support that helped turn the tide in favor of the colonizers. The British were adept at using diplomacy to secure alliances with these states, further isolating the rebels.
The British also had superior military resources, with well-trained troops, modern weaponry, and access to railways and telegraph systems, allowing them to outmaneuver the rebels. Their efficient logistical support and communication networks gave them a significant strategic advantage.
The rebels, on the other hand, lacked modern weapons and were often poorly equipped. This disparity in military strength played a crucial role in their defeat.
In the end, the British were able to isolate and defeat the rebel forces one by one, putting an end to the uprising by mid-1858. The aftermath saw the British consolidating their power and implementing policies to prevent future rebellions.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of the most important events in Indian history. The Revolt of 1857 was not just a fight for freedom, but a significant turning point that shaped the future of India.
If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more detailed content to UPSC aspirants and history enthusiasts.
Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest educational videos.
The legacy of the revolt lives on, reminding us of the sacrifices made for our freedom and the enduring spirit of resistance. It serves as a testament to the courage and resilience of those who fought against colonial rule. Let us honor their memory by continuing to learn and educate others about our rich history.